Welcome to the All-Star Break edition, episode 8 or 9. We don't check our notes of our podcast. I think we had maybe 8 views last time. We're pushing for double digits this time. We're going to work on our titles. Mike?
Mike, do you have pants on?
Yeah, we're working on
I do.
okay. We'll take your word for it. Adam, do you have pants on? I know you're at work. This might be a
Yeah, I
well,
forgot I was at work. I do have pants on.
well, I wanted to kick it off with a quote here that I did not plan ahead and have it on my phone. I have it on my desktop, so we'll see. So the quote came from that nice tribute that the Atlanta Braves, I guess MLB did for Hank Aaron. And it seemed to be the talk of the town the next morning when Hank Aaron hit his home run in Atlanta on April 8th, 1974. Vince Scully was on the call, and I was like, why the hell is he on the call? Oh, they're playing the Dodgers. That's why. That makes sense. So it's in this recap, it's wrong. So it starts off, he waits till he gets all the way around the bases, touches home, and he goes, what a marvelous moment for baseball. What a marvelous moment for Atlanta and the state of Georgia. What a marvelous moment for the country and the world. Then a black man is getting a standing ovation in the Deep South for breaking a record of an all-time baseball idol. Now let me bring my screen back. I have no idea where you're at. So, oh, here we go. What was left off of that tribute was that final part. Now, I thought that's what let it off. I thought that standing ovation sentence is what started it, but the marvelous talk was first. So it makes, I mean, I guess MLB can play like, oh no, it's just about timing. We cut off that
hmm
last sentence. But there was a lot of pushback on what they call it. Damn it. Somebody else jump in while I find this quote.
PEI.
Yeah, it was like a cut off the quote. Yeah, but even if you see like what he said, it was like he's not, they thought it was like racial profiling, like keeping that off. They don't want to bring it up, but he wasn't like saying anything wrong. People were interpreting, did MLB think Vince Scully was out of turn speaking about black men? But just, I feel like they're so sensitive to that. He was making a very big point. Jim Crow laws had just basically been taken off the books, I think, within that decade. And even Hank Aaron said when he was rounding second base, it was kind of, I just watched that replay. He thought those people were coming out to hit him. He didn't know what to expect.
Yeah.
So it's still a very, I mean, even now, racial tensions are high, but not as high as then. And for him to recognize that a standing ovation in the Deep South means a lot, especially passing someone like Babe Ruth, where they wouldn't even give Roger Maris the credit of that season when he hit 61. They put an asterisk next to it. So they were already like that with a white person. So kind of a weird moment in a very, I think it was a marvelous, to use that word, tribute to Hank Aaron. But what's your take on MLB? Do you think they purposely
I
altered the?
almost think the opposite if they cut it out, that it's like more that it's something they should have left. They should have just left the whole thing in, like that it was a big moment for that reason. Like, and it almost seems crazier to cut it out.
Yeah, that's what I'm kind of taking that side too. I
Like
think it's
almost
crazy.
too they foresaw people being overly sensitive about them even acknowledging it, but it's like that's one of the reasons it was such a big deal.
Yeah, exactly. That was the moment. Having a
Yeah.
black man take the lead in home runs and win, the
hmm
all-time home runs. Right now it's
Yeah.
Bonds, right? Bonds has the 763 or 760.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it adds to it. He wasn't it wasn't anything wrong with that. And I like you said, exactly, kind of what happened with the Redskins. There wasn't that much of an outcry. It was more white people thinking American Indians were upset about that name.
Yeah.
Well, is that there's controversy around the hub of where the All-Star game was too, because Atlanta was refusing to, right? Weren't they originally landed an All-Star game like 10 years ago?
They
And they
lost the All
refused
Star game then. Yeah.
I think it was like 3 years ago.
Yeah. It wasn't
and
long
went to
ago.
Colorado. Yeah.
There was a law about voting laws that people thought were restricting African American voting, but then someone even wrote, well, that hasn't changed. And I think they brought that up to who the hell's this? Speaking of sleeveless guys, who's the sleeveless guy on ESPN?
Pat McAfee.
Yes. So he was
Yeah.
like our, he was our VJ, our DJ for the All-Star game, and
I'm good on Pat McAfee. I think
Me too. Me
yeah,
too.
I
Didn't even
like he
play
was
baseball.
funny. He was funny when he like I used to watch some of his YouTube and like it's just oversaturation at this point.
oh yeah, um,
Weren't you a punter, Pat McAfee?
Yeah.
he's loud. He'll let you know he was.
Mm,
But they asked him a question. It was him and I believe Rob Manfred. No, no, somebody else was up there, but it had to do with baseball.
hmm
And they
Bud
asked the
Selig.
question, what?
He's
How was
dead.
that?
Bud Selig.
But he's back. Um, anyway, they asked the question. A reporter was like, well, because the law, Atlanta didn't host it 3 years ago because of this interpretation of this new law. That law is still in effect. So why is Atlanta hosting this year?
Yeah.
And then McAfee was just like, huh? What? I didn't hear you. And he kept asking, I couldn't hear. Could you? He's just like, please, someone else save me. Jump in to save
Mm.
me. It's a good delay tactic. Just keep asking to repeat it until they're like, all right. Um, but anyway,
Spit
yeah,
at the
so
question.
that's the backup. That's the background there. It just seems like everything's a little, you will find the wrong in everything. I do think it's a little suspect that you get rid of that though, because it was, like Mike said, a very big moment. That's why it was a big moment, with Hank Aaron winning or taking the lead there with 7:15. So kicking off that, let's segue into let's do home run derby talk first. What do we think about the home run derby? Anyone watch it?
I did. It was good. It was pretty cool. Um, Felt bad for Jazz Chisholm for sure, but he was just happy to be there.
I've learned to not feel
Um,
bad for him only because of Kyle's keeping him. That's really,
yeah,
it has nothing to do with him. It's just because of Kyle.
Heads up, Nick Abel.
yeah. I think I don't know. I think Caminero was definitely a surprise for
Oh yeah.
people. It was good to see the guys get their moment and Raleigh finally get like on a national stage because
Yeah.
nobody really knows who he is
Hmm.
for the most part. Like even non-casual, like he just plays for Seattle, which is already a team that doesn't get much coverage at all.
Right. Um,
Who let Cal go right-handed to begin with? He should have just stayed at the left side of the plate the whole. Like it was cool, but like you were clearly much better at the left, and Atlanta has that shit.
I blame Brian Wu. I saw him over there talking to him a lot during
Only
the
the
game.
nicest guy in the MLB.
It was Wu, Rosarena, I think, or Julio Rodriguez, maybe one of them.
and you had Raleigh's whole family there, pitching
Yeah,
and catching, and
that was cool.
That is cool.
but yeah, how did that work? Did he start right-handed and then switch mid for round to the left-handed? I didn't miss the first round.
Yeah, I think mid-round he
Okay.
switched, right?
Yeah, he took his once he took his timeout. When he came back from his timeout, he did the other side.
Oh, okay.
I
That's pretty.
enjoyed it, but I feel like it was longer than a baseball game, the event as a whole, and there was less baseball played. So it's like it was just a commercial fest for the most part.
Yeah. And actually, not to jump ahead, but the All-Star game commercials were a little long.
Yeah,
I kept going like, is this the baseball game? Like what? Why is there? I was like, okay, that's three commercials. It's coming back. And then we go to another commercial and I'm like, well, that's weird.
Yeah,
That's
what's the
the old.
setup for home run derby? All you have to do is switch if there's a left-handed thrower.
yeah, yeah. And their new thing is every time they would take a timeout, they wouldn't totally go to commercial break. They would just cover 70% of the screen with a commercial,
They do that
and
shit
then
now.
have him just drinking Gatorade in a little box in the corner.
Yeah, right. No matter what, we're gonna have an advertisement on the screen.
Yeah,
Yeah, Gatorade's just. I thought this was our time.
Yeah.
but I think it
Um,
was a fun event as a whole. It's just fun to see those guys having a good time. You know.
Yeah.
you're right about Caminero. I mean, him hitting when Testa was making his jokes in our group text, I'm like, I don't even know who this guy is still. And when I saw him hitting, I was like, whoa, this
Yeah.
dude's kind of a freak up there. Kind of like
Enough.
Rooker.
Enough. Shut up about Caminero.
Shut up about the
Shut
sun.
up.
Um, Rooker had a very similar swing to Caminero where it was like tight. So like the youth, the strength. Well, it seemed like James Wood was youthful, but he was trying too hard.
Hmm.
Maybe he got winded. A lot of the pushback was you can't even see where it used to be like Berman, back, 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 and you could see where it landed. Now it's like as soon as it's even a over that wall, just pitch the next one. The camera doesn't, you don't even see where the home runs go. So you're
Oh,
kind of,
it's a little disorienting watching it when they're just like, because some of the guys were really like Raleigh specifically was like burning through his 40 pitches like pretty quickly, and they're just like one camera's on him, and then the other screen is like just this camera going back and forth like in the stand in the air. It's like half the time they'd show the crowd and it would be nobody in the crowd's moving. It's like where did the ball land? What happened?
they would, you're right. And Ravitch at one time was like, oh, it's going back, back, it's good. And then it like was a grounder in left field.
Also, if guys like O'Neal Cruz are hitting, these kids in the outfield need to be in some kind of protective gear or behind like
Yeah.
a wall. It's
That's
way
And
too
not allowed on the
dangerous.
warning track.
Yeah. Oh
that
God,
stat
no.
you sent Adam, like 7 out of the 10 home runs he hit were like 110 mile an hour or more. Like
Yeah.
I get my kid out there, he gets to feel the ball concussion.
Dead.
You know, like O'Neal Cruz killed 3 children the other night. Like,
That's the
That's
headline.
yeah,
also American League wins.
Did
yeah.
you
But here's a video of Kyle Raleigh saying he's going to be home run derby champ when he was a kid 700 times.
did you guys see the controversy around Rooker?
Uh-uh.
So like the he had tied Cal Raleigh eliminated
Oh
him, but it
yeah,
came down to like a distance thing and it was by like point
like an
oh
inch.
yeah, and like but then so whatever, but then like after the thing they're asking him a question, he's like, well, I feel like if that was the determinant, they should maybe let you know in real time, and that should if that's a stat they have in real time, they should let you know in real
Yeah,
time. And there I was like, okay, normally if a guy is like this, he's just a sore loser. But at the same time, like I actually agree with him because this just is like a flawed system.
yeah. And
Like
it
that's
looks
almost
even
where it,
worse. It looks even
yeah,
worse that it was
after.
Raleigh was the one that
Right.
it's like, oh, so the home run champ beat me by an inch.
Yeah.
Yeah, the guy
Like,
who we all wanted to see win, and
yeah,
then
yeah.
but then on top of that, he mentioned that he might have not even had 40 baseballs in his pot, that he only had 38.
Who? Rooker?
Rooker.
And
There's
they
like an
had
interview.
well, they all that would be nuts because they all had like way more in there because
They can take
they
pitch.
didn't have to swing at every pitch.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You'd hope there's
Well,
more.
I guess that was I think that's what he mentioned because then they go
yeah,
deeper in. He's like, well, like he talks about taking a pitch or two, but I think he felt anyway, he sounded like he had a lot of commentary and a
he
lot of feelings
should
about
have
it.
got more swings is what he sounds like. He thinks he missed out on a couple of shots at it.
And then you just see ESPN like just pan away from him as he's talking. All right, that was Brent Rooker.
They're like, you played
Well,
for who was it? Sacramento?
Yeah,
Yeah,
what?
not as
And then
bad
he hits a
as
bomb in the All-Star game.
yeah,
yeah, and then Aaron Boone decides to put Jose
Don't jump ahead.
Arinda in.
yeah.
Don't jump
Let's go
ahead.
to let yeah. Are we on to the All Star game now?
Yeah, I guess.
One last
Yeah,
question about home run derby. When's the
yeah.
last time either of you swung a Major League Baseball bat?
Me? Any of
Yeah,
us? I don't know.
last time you swung a bat, period. That wasn't a wiffle ball bat.
I actually softball
Well,
invited
I
the
gotta ask.
invited all the parents and coaches to play against the girls. So you have like a 10U girl throwing her hardest at me, and I'm like trying to be nice, but everyone's like, "Do your best, do your best." The scariest moment of my life. I'm not hitting a line drive like O'Neal Cruz, assistant coach, murders
It's just a
10U
game,
team.
fucker.
Yeah, it's just a game. Anyway, it was the one I still have like high school bats in my garage. So that
I
Mine
can't
was
imagine
probably
swinging.
last summer. Yeah, I actually went to a batting cage. That was fun.
like
I was
Like hitting it.
very
Go ahead,
sore the
sorry, Mike.
next day. I was very sore the next day.
Yeah. I just can't imagine swinging like that ferociously for an hour, a minute and a half, and hitting the ball 520 feet because they're throwing it 40 miles an hour.
Well, that was part of. I think I saw Jazz Chisholm said that he's like, I didn't want to mess up my swing. Like I meant to do
Shut
that.
up, Jess.
shut up, Kyle
I meant
Turner.
to hit no home runs.
I'm with you that like Griffey, McGuire, Sosa home run derbies are a lot different from this because they could hit and then they would sit there and watch it and then everyone would cheer. It wasn't about how many you can hit. It
Yeah.
wasn't timed, right? You had 10 outs or something. I don't know what they did.
Yep.
Yeah, they were a bunch of non-athletes.
Controversy. That's where Ken Griffey was an athlete.
I don't think McGuire was an athlete.
McGuire plus steroids.
Yeah.
Which McGuire? This he had. I saw a picture of him late recently, and he has just muscles up to his ears.
Yeah.
He hit the ball out of Boston. That was the one. I remember that home run derby. He was hitting it over the Green Monster. It was like the first time I've ever seen someone hit it over out of the stadium. Now they're kind
Yeah.
of doing it during games, but anyway. Yes, All-Star game. Let's do it. I didn't watch. I watched like the first couple innings. I wanted to see Acuna hit, and hit he didn't. He had like a little flare single. Um, but I was cool to see the National League take an early lead, and I just want to get this out there. I had no way. I thought I turned it off because it was 6-0. No way AL comes back to tie. They're all stars.
Yeah.
How the hell do you give up 6 runs in 3 innings if you're an all star?
Oh,
Tell me.
had some Mets relievers in there.
But he was laughing. He gave up that little shit hit.
Yeah.
Whoever hit it, Quan, I think, had that little dribbler that's
Yeah. Stephen
Yeah.
Kwan.
yeah, Diaz. They were like they're down to their last pitcher and they're using Diaz and it was like, "Oh, okay, well there's no extra innings." So that makes either they're going to blow it or I didn't realize. So I'm not trying to get to this too quickly, but I have it up on my TV here. I want to look at the people they chose for this swing off, but I wanted to talk and
Yeah.
if there's anything about the All-Star game that we want to talk about and specifically before that.
I just want to say Pete Alonso was robbed.
Of MVP.
Yeah. That was bullshit.
I agree. I
Yeah.
mean, even Schwarber said
I blame Aranda because even if he hit one, Alonso would have had to come out.
Right. Um, yeah, I do want to circle back to, I think, a comment Mike said on pod episode 6
43.
when we were talking about how Shohei's like a man of the people and how he just like
Yeah.
stopped utter chaos from happening, and then he goes over, you could see him like joking around with Suarez,
Yeah. With his arm. Yeah.
which was a cool comment or like a cool moment because they're both all-stars, right?
Mm,
Which was just cool that he continues to like he knew it wasn't in bad blood, even though it might have
yeah.
been.
And Suarez continues to give up runs.
But
Yeah.
and I think in his head too, though, he's like, well, I'm pitching now too. So if you guys want to
Yeah,
keep fucking
exactly.
around, I can get my own revenge.
Yeah, I can throw 100 again.
Yeah.
Yeah, he hit the fastest he's thrown ever, right? And he's had
He's
eight
a freak.
scoreless innings. With he gave up a run on his first inning pitching, and then hasn't since. So he's
Was
kind
that
of back.
Sheehan came in after him?
That was that last game. Yeah,
Yeah.
Saturday, I think before. So let me get a few things off my chest about this All-Star game before the swing off. One, I like the send off for Kershaw, right? They took him out after like 2/3 of an inning.
Yeah, it was cool.
That's nice. Good for you. Okay. Then they do the let's take Freddie Freeman out early because he can get the ovation from the Atlanta crowd. Okay. We're beating that dead horse. I still hear Braves fans complain that we didn't keep Freddie when Matt Olson is fine. It's fine. They're this, well, I won't go into it. So
I'd rather have Nick Abel.
that would be my new team name if I didn't love whatever makes sense so much. What would Mick Abel do? Give up 5 and 3.
Walk
Um,
five. Yeah.
Get demoted.
um, and then when Dave Roberts comes out and at the end in the swing off and he's telling him his three that he's picked, how do you not pick Matt Olson or Ronald Acuna in Atlanta? I'm kind of pissed that Alonso's even in there. He didn't pick a Dodger, right? There's no Dodgers in that
No.
three. But I kind of got the weird feeling. I'm like, we're in Atlanta. Why are we not highlight? I know the Braves are not. I'm trying not to be a homer here, but if we were in LA, I get all this LA shit. But Kershaw's send off, Freddie's thing, Dave Roberts, and it's not. And you have a Marlin, a Philly, and a Met in Atlanta as the three that he picks. It's just a weird. I kept going like, what the hell? What the hell is happening?
You felt like he was basically like, "Fuck you, Braves."
Yeah, and he made like I thought he'd be like an Olsen, when he gives his last one, he's like, and Polar Bear, and I'm like, what?
The Stowers is the head scratcher. I think he's having a great year, but that was the head scratcher. I think for
Like he already got the All-Star nod because the requirement by the MLB. Why are
yeah,
you picking him? There's so
yeah,
many better choices.
He looked
Pick
like he
yeah.
just
Otani
woke
for the
up.
sport, or pick a guy from Atlanta, you know?
So that's one thing that rubbed me the wrong way. But if we can get into the swing off, I knew what happened. I didn't see it,
Hmm.
and I was trying to prep my kids. I said, "Get ready. We're gonna have to root for a Philadelphia Philly." I know it's everything I've said we can't do, but we're going to. And when Schwarber came up, like Emery's biting her nails, this swing off. So I know we want to talk about it. It created that suspense, and it was really fun. Um, my daughter's biting her nails. When Schwarber hit, I think his first and second one,
Hmm.
they were like jumping around cheering. And then when he hits that third one, I hear Harrison on the side of the couch like, "Whoa!" Like he's
It
like
was crazy. Yeah,
he felt it, and it's like cool to see
yeah.
a kid in real time really love something.
Hmm.
So that was kind of cool. And then I was like, well, maybe I should have shown him the home run derby because it's just home runs after
That
home
yeah,
run. But seeing his reaction was kind of cool. And then I was like, and now we never root for them again.
yeah. The crazy picture to me was the Alonso picking up Schwarber, and I'm like, oh, I'm like sick to my stomach. I'm like, what is this? Just like disgusting display.
Yeah.
Put that man down.
Even
He was
Schwarber kind of
not.
was like, all right.
Yeah,
But I love the excitement. Even when I think it was Rooker was hitting, you can see like the AL Kwan and them are like pumped up and like it got into them. They were excited about it.
yeah. And both teams were on the field for it, not in the dugout. They were
Yeah,
standing
that's
on the
true.
field. That
Yeah.
was awesome.
But
I think
Adam,
it's cool, like they dream of that growing up, right? Like to be an all-star in the first sense, and like especially guys like with you're on a not so good team, you get to
Yeah,
like enjoy that camaraderie, and you're like around star power, and it like reinvigorates your like passion for the game and just the competitors aspect of it.
Adam, tell me your thoughts on the three for the American League.
Well, I already jumped the gun on the one.
He's the
Um,
one we need to talk about. The other ones are fine. Rooker and Arozarena is fine. They actually showed
I
up.
know, but like Judge.
Aaron Judge, Cal Raleigh.
Raleigh, yeah, like I get, like I appreciate that Aaron Boone didn't pick a Yankee, and I go back and forth on how little respect I have for Aaron Boone, but sometimes there's an ounce there, and like that's cool, you know. And like Dave Roberts, same thing, not picking a Dodger, but like there's still so many more good athletes on the American. Like I would have liked to have seen, like, wasn't Riley Green or Kerry Carpenter an All-Star?
Riley Green was
The guy
Carpenter,
who only hits multiple home runs when he hits them.
but I
Um,
did read someone said that players left, like they weren't there anymore. Like
Oh, okay.
they couldn't
do
pick
they
like
get paid?
I think you get a bonus for making the All-Stars per Juan Soto, who was like, you get a good payday. Because someone was like, are you upset you didn't get picked for the All-Star game? And he's like, I heard it's a pretty good payday. And we're all like, you make $750 million,
What
10
do
grand
you
for
mean
the
you
Hey,
heard?
All-Star.
Aren't you an all-star?
just trying to feed his kids, man.
Um, see- there's another point I was gonna make too. Oh, the home run derby, because then the kid robbed Camaro's one home run, but I think they get 1 million per home run.
Oh my God, no way. Like
No,
Cal
they
Raleigh
don't.
just made,
Yeah, so much money. I think there's financial incentive for them to like obviously
Well, I
Jazz
think it's the
Chisholm not so
winner.
much,
I
but
think yeah, they probably get something for just participating, and then the winner gets 1 million. I think is what it was.
that'll be a lot
maybe that's what
for
it
home
is.
runs.
Yeah.
That's what they kept talking about on the broadcast because they were like, "This guy only makes 750,000. He could win 1 million tonight." Like,
Oh, that's
Yeah.
cool. But what about Jazz Chisholm?
He didn't want to ruin his swing.
Well, he ruined his suit. Did you see what he wore the next day on the red carpet? He had like a one of the worst suits I've ever seen.
Classic Jazz Chisholm.
He had
Oh,
a janitor's chain going from like his third button in his suit, like all the way down to his knee and looped back into his pocket. Swag.
swag.
Acuna looked pretty sharp. I think he was wearing a cutoff suit,
I have to see these. I haven't looked
That's
at the
great. I haven't seen that.
like a no sleeve suit. There was a couple guys rocking that look, I think.
Medelson. I saw they didn't call it an error, but he had an error in that inning where the AL was like coming back. The run didn't score, but then later he makes a really good play on Chisholm to save a run, and Chisholm was giving him a little bit of talk. And then Matt Olson's personality really came out when he smiled at him. We're like, "Hey Matt, do you like baseball?" So yeah, it was kind
I
of fun. I thought I had one more thing. Oh, one more thing about the All-Star. So Nate Eovaldi was not chosen as an All-Star, but he's like one of the in the history of the All-Star game, going back to 1933, there have only been two pitchers with an ERA of 1.65 or lower and at least 80 innings pitched not to make the All-Star game. Phil Niekro in 67, and now Nathan Eovaldi. He has a 1.65 or 1.58 ERA over 91 innings. But the Rangers gave Eovaldi the $100,000 All-Star bonus in his contract, even though he didn't make the team. Thank you, Rangers, for doing that. That's a really good.
Did
Yeah,
he definitely not
class
make it, or
act.
did he decline? He didn't get selected
Per
or even
my
asked to
deep
go.
research into Reddit screenshots, I
Okay,
will defer to the internet.
because I know that was a big controversy with everybody was getting all butthurt about Mizorowski making it after only 5 starts.
All
Um,
those Phillies.
yeah, they were mad that Suarez or Christopher Sanchez didn't make it, but then it came out that Suarez was offered and said no, and
Oh, really?
Sanchez decided he was going to pitch Sunday. It was either don't pitch Sunday and play in the All Star game, and he said he wanted to pitch on Sunday. So there was apparently I heard 12 pitchers offered the spot before they gave it to Mizorowski.
You, but no Braves. Let it be known. No Braves were asked.
Noah Didi, is that his name?
Didier Fuentes.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. Jazz Chisholm
Um,
had
well,
less
what's
home runs
crazier
than
about
he's given up. Sorry, go ahead.
what's crazier about Evaldi is he was like hurt the past 2 years. And so
Mm-hmm.
it's like he's like on an AP track where he's coming back and having like a career year post injury.
hmm I still avoid him because I think he always gets hurt, but he's really good. I when I draft,
Yeah,
but
same reason we avoided Max Fried, who's the best pitcher in baseball.
yeah, we shouldn't sign him.
Well, that's what do they say with injuries? It's the you want the guy the year after,
Yeah.
not the
Hey,
year
Shane
after.
Bieber, baby.
We're still waiting on that year after. The dude just gets hurt every year.
Well, that's the problem is if you get hurt every other year, it kind of breaks that whole system up. Yeah.
All right, we're running low on time. 10 minutes. Adam, what's your thing?
Oh, did you guys see there was I hate John Schneider. Like, don't know why. Just think the Blue Jays have underperformed the entire time under his tenure. They've had a fine roster the whole time he's been there. He just has a really punchable face. So I guess I know why I hate him. And he, again, it's tough to find an ounce of respect for any AL East manager at this point. Um, Cora, throw him in there. Already talked about Aaron Boone, but now Schneider. They were playing in Sacramento, and Springs like throws a fastball or whatever, and Davis Schneider like hits one, but the foul
Foul.
poles are like
Mhm.
Babe Ruth sized. You guys saw this?
I saw this.
Yeah.
And so he gets like shows the most fire I've ever seen from anybody. And he not true, but most he gets ejected quite a bit, but then he gets ejected. He has to do the slow walk to left field.
Yeah.
He's like still shouting. Next pitch, Springs throws in an 0-2 curveball at his knees and just tanks it, which I thought was a really cool moment.
Yeah.
Yep.
It was
Um,
great. I do
that was
love
cool.
that's the best thing of all the games with the A's or when somebody gets ejected because that
They
that
all have to
walk
just
the
wait.
walk of shame is hilarious. Yeah.
So what's his name? Because Davis Schneider's the player, but what's the coach?
John Schneider.
John Schneider. A lot of ways, he cut the walk of shame by continuing to argue into the field.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he didn't have to walk from behind home plate all the way. He walked from like behind second base to the.
Well, the one guy, like, just the guy who made the foul call, like, wouldn't look at him, wouldn't acknowledge him,
Yeah,
which I guess is like what you're taught as an umpire. But like the other four guys are are like trying to block him. And what I also wanted to bring up, I don't like the fact that umpires can touch coaches, but coaches and players aren't allowed to touch umpire. Like it's like, and we know umpires like to be on their high horse, but it's like you could see them like physically bumping Schneider because he's a big dude.
they were
Mhm.
holding him back.
But
There's
then
a
like the
rule.
coach is just like pulling
Yeah,
Schneider's sleeve, like that's gonna do something.
that umpire was legit like
Yeah, like
defensive block
hitting him.
mode.
Which like if I did that as a coach, even if I like accidentally bumped you, that's a fine, you know? Like
Yeah,
the
there's a
coach
rule.
from
There's a
Coastal.
rule you can't do it. Even as an umpire, you're not supposed to, but there's no repercussions for any of these umpires. They can do whatever the hell they want.
Yeah.
They're on borrowed time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You saw that ABS system, right?
Yeah. Yeah. And you saw how good the players are at it. The umpires are
Yeah.
fucked. They
Oh
have
yeah.
no chance. Like once if they do that, they're gonna be in trouble.
That's another topic, but how great these players are at identifying strikes and balls in a
Yeah.
like watching with Emery, she'll be like, "That's a ball." Like it's great. My daughter gets mad when the umpires are
Hmm.
making bad calls, but these batters are just like, you can just see on their face. They don't even look back sometimes. They just look like, nope. Like, and it's sometimes they'll look, I don't know what they say. What do they even say with a quick thing? Like, no. Where was that?
Yeah.
I think they're on Mike's mentality where they're just like, just let it go, man. You make too much money this year. Like,
Yeah.
not worth sitting out.
Um, Speaking of an AL East manager that we can respect, Kevin
Brandon
Cash.
Hyde.
Well, he's gone. I was like, I don't even
Yeah,
know who the
he's
Orioles
fine.
manager is, but Kevin Cash of the Rays. I would say yes, but he's the one who took Blake Snell out early, and then the Rays kind of imploded, right? So no, you're right. I'm with you, Adam. AL East managers. Although I don't mind Aaron Boone. I like that he gets thrown out still when managers don't really anymore. All right, 5 minutes here. Should we go through our standings?
Yeah, let's do it. Big
Uh,
shakeups.
what's that? Matchups?
Big shakeups since the
Oh,
last time we did the pod.
swelling back that thing up. First place, Loot, rising. Second place, Paul Dadsby Swanson's. Third,
I think Dad's by.
Dad's by. That's right. Dad's by Swanson's. Dad's by Swanson's. Okay. Otani's fall guy. Patrick rising. He was in dead last early. All right. Jerickson's store called. I like that. That's funny. He came in hot.
Speaking of coming in hot,
Me,
I'll be
sixth.
back up next week.
Are you? Oh, well, we'll get to the matchups. We
Yeah.
still 4 minutes. Chad seven. Adam. One man's trash is Chad's team. That's so funny. I'm sure he's just like, I fucking hate these guys. Um, Brian Freefall, he's at right at 500, 96, 96. He's in ninth place, but he was up in like second. So he's got to turn this shit around. Tom, I keep thinking he's better than he is.
so does he.
10th. Keith, 11th. Chris, 12th. Kyle, 13th. Kevin, 14th, although Kevin beat my ass last week. Adam went
And
in,
is still in
crushed
last
him.
place. Yeah.
And then I was like, good, I got Kevin. And then Aaron Judge was hitting like game tying home runs like every night. And I'm like, what the hell is happening? Why? Anyway, let's get to matchups. I'm currently beating Schwellenbach Testa 11-3. We'll see. We only have 3 days of games here. Um, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. I feel like other All-Star breaks, we got like a Thursday in there, but maybe they're just anyway, 3 games this week. 3 days of games. Ooh, Mike. Ooh, taking down Loot. I just gave Loot a little credit and he's getting crushed 12-2.
Still a lot of stats to dig out and hitting.
I think
But
seeing pitching matchups.
my pitchers finally showed up, so that was nice. Besides Gallon, he had his one good.
Still,
He had just enough good starts for me not to drop him before the All Star break, and then he shit the bed that last start. So
he's going to turn it around.
sure,
Second half. Classic
Sure.
second half guy. And I was going to say something. Whatever. Brian beating Kyle 8-3. Tom beating Chris 11-3. Close one with Chad and Kevin. There's Kevin again. 7-6-1. Dad's by Swanson's 8-5-1 over Patrick. That's a good matchup. And then Adam, close one with the Vermont Monsters with Keith. 7-6-1. But you're right, it's all how how are they going to line up pitching this weekend that will help or hurt us?
Oh, I know. Well, this is maybe to my advantage, but Keith has been crushing me in pitching. So if he watches this before this weekend, he'll probably sit all his pitchers. But he has like six guys going this weekend. And it's
We
just
can
like,
already
what,
tell.
just when I thought I could stream and make it through.
Heath has really good pitching this year.
Yeah.
Well, remember he picked everyone. He kept Skeens and then he just kept picking pitchers the first three rounds. Everyone was like, the hell? Yeah, I haven't my pitchers aren't even updated yet. I can't tell who's starting Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
Yeah, this is when
So
it's good to have a team with shitty pitchers because the Aces all just pitched in the All Star game, so they might not
Right.
pitch this weekend.
hear that, Paul? You're gonna
Hear
win this
that, Dustin
weekend.
May?
All right, less than a minute. Any last words?
No, let's
I
finish strong.
do I do want to just say that each year, Dave, you know that one of my fantasy football teams, the one with like Luke and all them, we pick golfers for the British Open to determine where they land on the leaderboard, like how we choose our picks. And I had 10th out of 12 picks for golfers, and I took Matt Fitzpatrick, who is currently atop the leaderboard.
Very
Yes.
nice.
Now he's
Yes.
gonna bogey the next six holes tomorrow.
Shouldn't have said it. All right. Love you guys. Talk to you soon. I'll publish it
Bye.
today. Bye.
Later.